7 straight days of severe weather kicking off right now. 15 million people under the hail threat tonight. Baseball-sized stones on the table. And a tornado risk already stretching from Chicago all the way to Albany, New York. And folks, that is just Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday through Saturday is where this week gets truly ugly. At least one outbreak on the table. All hazards. Tornadoes included. Here is the kicker. The worst system has not even formed yet. Meanwhile, the West is on fire. Red flag warnings flying across Wyoming, Idaho, Nebraska, and Utah, gusts hitting 55 miles per hour along I-80. Phoenix baking at 92 degrees with blowing dust shutting down visibility on I-10 right now. A late-season blizzard is hammering upstate New York and Vermont as we speak. 7 days, every single corner of this country has a dangerous story. Today we break all of it down day by day. More than 100 cities. We are going to move through tonight and tomorrow first, then build toward Friday, because Friday is the day that has every forecaster in this country sitting up straight in their chair. Keep watching. It is worth it. Here's where we stand right now on Monday, March 30th. A low-pressure system is tracking across the northern plains, squeezing storm fuel out of the Gulf of Mexico. Tonight, that fuel ignites across the Midwest. This is not a drill. Slight risk. Level 2 out of 5 is up for southern Wisconsin, portions of Iowa, and northern Illinois. Marginal risk wraps around that into northern Pennsylvania and southern tier New York. 15 million people are in tonight's threat zone. The number one concern tonight is very large hail. Supercells fire around 7 to 10 p.m. starting near Omaha and Des Moines. Some of these storms will produce baseball-sized hail that is over 2 inches in diameter, enough to shatter a windshield clean through. A retired auto worker in Des Moines learned this the hard way last spring. He left his truck outside for 2 hours during a warning and came back to shattered glass and a hood that looked like a golf course. Do not make that same call tonight. Get it covered before sunset. By 10 p.m. to midnight, storms cluster into northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. This is the sweet spot for the largest hail. If you are in the Chicago metro tonight, there is a real chance of baseball hail after dark. Your car, your boat, anything outside, bring it in now. By midnight into early Tuesday morning, heavy rain, damaging winds, and large hail track into lower Michigan. Set a weather alert on your phone before you go to sleep tonight. And y'all, an isolated brief tornado in southern Iowa cannot be ruled out during the evening hours. There's also a 2% tornado risk on Monday, and in the SPC world, a 2% is not nothing. An isolated brief twister is possible somewhere in southern Iowa tonight. Stay aware and do not go to bed without your phone alerts turned on. Tuesday, March 31st, the last day of March, and do yourself a solid and pay attention here, because Tuesday is actually the more dangerous of the 2 opening days. Conditions sharpen significantly for severe weather across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. Slight risk posted for Cleveland, Detroit, and up into Buffalo level 2 out of 5. Main threats 15% chance of winds hitting 65 to 70 miles per hour, and a 15% chance of hail 1 inch or larger. Both of those are real numbers for a real threat. Here is the kicker for Tuesday. The Storm Prediction Center has flagged that any tornado which develops could be strong, EF2 or higher. Eastern Michigan is the focus area. If you are in lower Michigan Tuesday afternoon, have a plan ready before noon, not at 7 p.m. when the sirens go off. A strong storm line sweeps through Detroit around 7 to 8 p.m. with near 70-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball hail moving fast. Stay with me here in the southern plains. A separate hail threat also fires Tuesday afternoon near Oklahoma City and Wichita. Protect your vehicles there too. For the Northeast, on Tuesday night, heavy rain pushes through New York, southern New England, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Not a major severe weather day up there, but bursts of very heavy rain will cause localized street flooding and messy travel well into Tuesday night. Bottom line for Monday and Tuesday, hail tonight across the Midwest. More organized severe weather Tuesday from Michigan through the Ohio Valley. And an EF2 tornado risk that is real and has been flagged. 2 days down, 5 more to go, and they get progressively more dangerous. Wednesday, April 1st, and this is no April Fool's joke. Folks, A brand new storm system rolls over the Rockies out of the Pacific, and it locks in on the central and southern plains. Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas. Wednesday is your day to watch. A marginal risk is already posted, but both forecasting teams agree that is a conservative call right now. If this trough crosses the Rockies at the right timing, Wednesday could upgrade fast to a slight or enhanced risk. All the ingredients are sitting there loaded and ready. Dew points climbing into the low to mid-60s. Strong wind shear. A surface low popping off the high plains. That combination supports supercells capable of all hazards, large hail, damaging winds, and a handful of tornadoes. Oklahoma and Kansas are squarely in the primary target zone. The wild card on Wednesday is trough timing. Slow crossing means a limited threat. Fast crossing means storms fire in broad daylight, and daylight storms are always the ones that produce the most damage. Watch the 6 a.m. and noon SPC updates Wednesday. That is when we will know. Thursday, April 2nd, that same storm strengthens and ejects east. Moisture now stretches from Milwaukee all the way down to Houston, a corridor over 1,000 miles long of loaded storm fuel just waiting to go. All hazards are on the table again Thursday. And here is something that does not get talked about enough. Thursday's northern edge brings a late-season snow and wintry mixed threat to the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan. Tornadoes possible in Oklahoma and Missouri while Minnesota is getting snow. Welcome to April, y'all. Think about that contrast for a second. Violent thunderstorms in the southern plains, while a winter storm hammers the upper Midwest, a 1,500-mile spread of dangerous weather on a single day. Every part of that corridor deserves your full attention Thursday. We will be watching all of it. Now Friday. I want to plant this seed right now and come back to it when we get to the Plain Cities in a few minutes. Friday, April 3rd is the one. The biggest, most dangerous storm system of this entire 7-day stretch. Do not tune out before we get there. Before we go city by city, let's talk about what is already happening right now in the West and the Northeast, because both of those stories are serious and both of them are connected to the severe weather threat building in the middle of the country. Red flag warnings are flying across Wyoming, Idaho, Nebraska, and Utah right now. Here is what that means on the ground. Humidity has crashed below 15%. Gusts are hitting 55 miles per hour along I-80, and one single spark. One can become an unstoppable wildfire in under 3 minutes. If you're in Wyoming, Idaho, Nebraska, Utah, or Colorado this week, zero outdoor burning of any kind. No debris piles, no campfires, nothing. If you see smoke, call 911 and get away fast. A 55-mile-per-hour gust can move a fire line faster than your car on a dirt road. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, a late-season winter storm is hammering northern Michigan, upstate New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire right now. 6 to 10 inches of snow expected, wind gusts to 40 miles per hour, and near zero blowing snow visibility on I-90 and I-87. Buffalo at 32 under blizzard conditions. Albany at 36, dangerously icy roads. Burlington, Vermont at 30 with 40 mile per hour, gusts the worst in the region today. Portland, Maine and Concord, New Hampshire, both under winter storm warnings. Do not drive in those areas today unless you have to. Phoenix, Arizona. Today is a completely different kind of dangerous 92 degrees with blowing dust cutting visibility to near zero on I-8 and I-10. If you are driving through Phoenix today, dust storms appear with almost no warning. Pull completely off the road, turn off your lights, and keep your foot off the brake. Seriously. One more thing before cities. If you live in a mobile home anywhere from the southern plains through the Mississippi Valley or the Mid-South, identify your nearest sturdy shelter right now on a calm Monday morning, not Wednesday night when sirens are already going off and you cannot think straight. All right, let's go city by city, moving fast, covering every region. Listen for your town. New York City at 48 degrees, wind-driven rain, making the commute absolutely miserable today. Boston at 42, brutal northeast wind off the Atlantic that feels like February, came back for one last visit. Philadelphia at 51, gloomy, with scattered storms building through the afternoon. Washington, D.C. at 55, fast-moving showers and gusty winds. Pittsburgh at 48, heavy rain and strong gusts making for rough travel all day. Baltimore at 53, wet roads and storm clouds stacking. Providence at 44 and Newark at 49, cold, wind-driven rain from morning right through tonight. Winter storm zone, Buffalo at 32 under a full winter storm warning blowing snow. Near zero visibility. Do not get on I-90 right now if you can help it. Albany at 36 with icy roads. Hartford, Connecticut at 45 with sleet mixing in. Burlington, Vermont at 30, the worst in the region today by far. Heading south, Atlanta, Georgia at 74 degrees. Dangerous, severe thunderstorms expected to roll through tonight. Charlotte, North Carolina at 68 with a tornado threat and heavy rain this afternoon. Raleigh at 66, lightning and possible small hail. Richmond, Virginia at 60 with a storm system sweeping through later today. Carolina and Virginia coast Charleston, South Carolina at 72 with extreme coastal winds and dangerous surf red flag conditions on the beach. Virginia Beach at 58, no swimming today. Savannah, Georgia at 75, scattered severe storms and rough seas. Jacksonville, Florida at 78, strong wind gusts snapping branches across the metro. Deep south, Birmingham, Alabama at 76, severe storms expected tonight. Folks in Birmingham know how fast these things can spin up. And tonight is a night to have a plan ready. Montgomery at 78. Mobile, Alabama at 80, oppressively humid with severe storms approaching fast from the west. Here is something worth pausing on before we get to the plains, the same warm. Juicy Gulf air that is making Mobile, Alabama feel like a steam room tonight is also the exact fuel that will power Friday's storm system 4 days from now. Everything this week feeds into everything else. Gulf Coast, New Orleans at 83 with a flash flood threat that moisture is already building. Jackson, Mississippi at 79 under a flash flood watch right now. Gulfport at 81 with dangerous storm surge. Baton Rouge at 81, tornado monitoring active. Shreveport, Louisiana at 79, large hail possible today. Kentucky and Tennessee, Louisville at 65 and Lexington at 63 under severe thunderstorm monitoring tonight. Nashville at 74. Rain and severe storms sweeping through Nashville has seen this movie before, and it does not end quietly. Knoxville at 70, strong storms threatening power lines across the area. Chattanooga, Tennessee at 71 with continuous lightning and heavy downpours. Little Rock, Arkansas at 75, severe storm and tornado risk tonight. Fayetteville, Arkansas at 72. Damaging wind and hail from fast-moving cells. These Mid-South cities sit right in the zone where the cold front will be driving hardest Tuesday night. Texas, Houston at 82 under a flash flood watch right now. Gulf moisture feeding heavy rain bands into the metro, and there is no easy way out of that flooding once it starts. Dallas at 85 with severe hail risk this afternoon. Fort Worth at 84, supercell possible by early evening. Austin at 87 and San Antonio at 88, hot, humid, severe storm potential through tonight. El Paso at 94 under a red flag fire warning, the hottest city in the country right now. Amarillo at 85 and Lubbock at 88 with blowing dust, cutting visibility to near zero on open highway stretches. Right here, this is the moment I told you about at the top of the show, Oklahoma and Kansas. Listen up. Oklahoma City at 80 degrees right now with a tornado watch level threat already building this week. But Friday is the day that could define this entire storm season. Here is why. A third storm system, larger and more powerful than Wednesday's, ejects out of the Rockies on Friday and locks onto the Ozarks and Southern Plains right along and east of the I-35 corridor. Dew points surge into the mid to upper 60s, 5 to 10 degrees higher than Wednesday. This is a textbook outbreak setup. The Storm Prediction Center has not posted a risk for Friday yet, but that is purely because of lead time, not because of low confidence. Both forecasting teams are on record saying if trends continue, Friday could be a widespread, multi-state severe weather day with all hazards on the board. A grandmother in Bartlett, Tennessee, keeps her go bag right next to the hallway closet every spring. She said she learned that from the 2011 tornado outbreak. You do not run around looking for shoes when the sirens go off. Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Your go bag needs to be ready by Thursday night. Back to the city roundup. Let's finish the plains and Midwest and then wrap up the West. Oklahoma and Kansas Tulsa at 78 with extreme storms and continuous lightning today. Wichita at 78 and Topeka at 75, watching both fire danger and storm threats simultaneously. That is a wild combination, and it speaks to just how loaded this atmosphere is right now. Missouri. St. Louis at 72 severe storms expected tonight, the kind that roll through after midnight and take people by surprise. Kansas City at 70 tornado monitoring active all week. Corpus Christi, Texas at 84. Heavy rain tapping in from the Gulf with flash flood risk through this afternoon. Midwest Chicago at 58. This is the hail threat zone tonight. If you have not gotten your car inside yet, now is the time. Detroit at 54 with scattered severe storms building all afternoon. Indianapolis at 62 under a severe thunderstorm watch. Columbus, Ohio at 60, dark skies and gusty squall lines pushing through. Ohio Valley, Cleveland at 56 with severe thunderstorms already ripping through. Lightning strikes being reported downtown. Cincinnati at 64, gusty severe storms with roof damage possible tonight. Milwaukee, Wisconsin at 52, 40 mile per hour. Lakefront gusts and heavy rain. Flash flood risk active right now along the waterfront. Upper Midwest, Minneapolis at 45, cold and blustery severe weather risk builds dramatically as this week rolls on. Des Moines, Iowa at 68, storm fuel fully loaded and tornado risk climbing all week. St. Paul at 46, cold rain and gusty winds. Keep that weather app open every single morning this week. Omaha, Nebraska at 65 under a red flag fire. Warning extreme fire danger sitting right alongside the storm threat out there. Lincoln, Nebraska at 66, 55 mile per hour. Gusts and catastrophic fire spread risk on surrounding grassland. Fargo, North Dakota at 38, bitterly cold wind. Bismarck at 40, gray and raw all day. Now let's wrap up the West Fire Country, mountain snow, and then the Pacific Coast. This part of the country has its own set of serious problems today. Separate from the storm threat in the east, but every bit as dangerous. Mountain West Fire Zone, Denver, Colorado at 75 under a red flag fire warning, bone-dry Chinook winds. Extreme fire danger, Colorado Springs at 72 with 50 mile per hour gusts. Cheyenne, Wyoming at 60 with gusts to 55 miles per hour. I-80 through Wyoming is the most dangerous fire corridor in the country. Salt Lake City, Utah at 68 under a red flag warning. Humidity below 15%, that is drier than most deserts on a typical day. Albuquerque, New Mexico at 88, critically dry and hot. Santa Fe at 82, parched vegetation ready to ignite. Boise, Idaho at 62 under a red flag warning as well. Southwest Phoenix at 92 with blowing dust near zero visibility on I-8 and I-10 right now. Tucson at 89, dangerously hot and dry. Las Vegas at 85 with blowing sand. El Paso at 94 degrees under a red flag warning, hottest and driest city in the country today. No relief until late this week. Pacific Northwest Seattle, Washington at 52, Mountain Pass. Closures likely in the Cascades as snow drops to 1,500 feet today. Spokane at 48, rain-snow mix and slick roads. Portland, Oregon at 54. Eugene at 55, both cool and drizzly. Washington and Oregon, mountain passes picking up over 6 inches of new snow right now. That Pacific Northwest system pushes snow east into Wyoming and Colorado by Tuesday night. Casper at 58, Billings, Montana at 55, Missoula at 50, all watching increasing mountain snow through midweek. Fire danger in the valleys and plains below. Snowstorm in the peaks above. Wild week out west. California. Los Angeles at 82. Warm and sunny but critically dry. San Francisco at 65 with a stiff ocean breeze. San Diego at 78 under a prolonged drought advisory. Sacramento at 75, Fresno at 79, San Jose at 72, Central Valley baking under clear skies and dangerously low humidity today. Closing out the city roundup, Anchorage, Alaska at 28, heavy snow and ice fog. Fairbanks at 12 degrees, extreme cold. Honolulu, Hawaii at 80 under a flash flood watch. Hilo at 76 with torrential rain and landslide risk. Maui at 78, rough surf and storm bans. That is your full national picture. City roundup Done. Let's pull back to the big picture. A train of Pacific storm systems is firing one after another right now and in late March through early April. This pattern historically produces the worst severe weather stretches of the entire year. We are right in the middle of one of those stretches. After this week's storms, the pattern may briefly settle around April 7th or 8th before moisture builds again. The drought monitor is lit up red across the southern plains and southeast. This rain is badly needed, but it arrives wrapped in severe weather. There is no free lunch this week. Temperature outlook well above average for the southern and central U.S. all week, and that is exactly why the severe weather threat is so elevated. Warm, moist air at the surface slamming into cold air aloft is the basic recipe these tornado-producing storms run on. All week long, that recipe stays active. Here is your action plan for this week. Real quick, tonight get your vehicle under cover in Iowa. Wisconsin. An Illinois baseball hail is possible. Set your weather alerts before bed. Know your county name. Not just your city tornado warnings always go out by county. Tuesday, Lower Michigan, Northeastern Ohio, and the Buffalo area are in the crosshairs. The severe weather window is 5 p.m. to midnight. Any tornado that develops Tuesday could be EF2 or stronger. That is a serious flagged threat. Have a shelter plan at work and at home before you leave the house tomorrow morning. Wednesday, watch the 6 a.m. and noon SPC updates. If the trough timing accelerates, this day upgrades fast. Thursday, all hazards threat across the southern plains and winter weather threat in the Dakotas and upper Midwest simultaneously. Carry a blanket in your car this week that is not overkill. That is just smart. Friday, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas face the highest outbreak potential of the entire week. Call your family or friends in those states today, not Thursday night when storms are on radar and it is too late to plan. Today, that one phone call might be the most important thing you do all week. Flood safety for the Gulf Coast, Tennessee Valley, and lower Mississippi Valley. 6 inches of moving water can knock an adult off their feet. 2 feet will carry most vehicles off a road. Turn around. Do not drown every year. People lose their lives at crossings they were certain were shallow enough. If somebody you know lives in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, or anywhere in the southern plains, right now drop this video in their messages today. Share it on Facebook. That one share this week could genuinely matter to somebody. That is not drama. That is just how folks look out for each other around here. And if this forecast is useful to you, share it with one person in the storm zone. We will be back every single day this week with updated outlooks, every upgrade, every warning. You do not have to chase this information down. Stay with us and we will bring it to you. Let's bring it all the way back home. 7 straight days of severe weather. 15 million people under the hail threat tonight. Baseball-sized hail possible before midnight. A potential EF2 tornado flagged for lower Michigan Tuesday. A 1-200-mile squall line Saturday. And the most dangerous system of the week has not even formed yet. It arrives Friday. The fuel is already sitting there, dew points in the mid to upper 60s, loaded wind shear, and a moisture corridor stretching from Houston to Milwaukee. All it needs is that trough to come over the Rockies and pull the trigger. 3 days away, the clock is already running. This is Tom. Keep this forecast close all week. Share it with the people you care about in the storm zones. Stay weather aware every single day, Monday through Sunday, because this week the atmosphere is absolutely not giving anybody a pass. We will see you right back here tomorrow morning.